Are you a beginning, intermediate, or advanced guitarist? This is IkeGuitar, and this video will tell you just that. Now I'm setting this up as follows. I'm giving you what you need to work on to achieve this level of skill you're aspiring for. So when I give you a list for beginner guitar, you're not a beginner guitar player until you finish what's on the beginner guitar list. Same with intermediate, same with advanced. And just know that these are very subjective, but they're meant to be a benchmark. So if you're practicing, just know that these are great stepping stones to understanding how good you really are as a guitar player. And obviously we're not going to have every technique or skill, but we're going to focus on the main conceptual format for a guitar player in general. Okay, so I'm also not saying that you can't get paid if you're in any of these sections. So if you're a beginner guitar player, you might be able to find paid work as a beginner. If you're intermediate, same thing, okay? And just because you're advanced doesn't mean you could get paid to play a gig. It depends on style, depends on genre, and depends on how well you jive with others. So we're not talking about professional inquiries either. Just merely the conceptual things you need to know to become a guitar player in these three specific echelons. Okay? So if you're at a 0 level, okay, we're saying if you're not even a beginner yet, you're just picking up a guitar for the first time, we're going to call you the Scrub Lord. We need kind of like the lowest we can go. You are Scrub Lord, you know nothing. Here are the guitar skills you need to go from Scrub Lord to beginner level, okay? So first off, all the open chords. C, A, G, E, and D with F. You need to know D minor, E minor, A minor, and of course all the dominant 7 chords you can play in open position. So like B7, A7, D7, G7, C7, you get it, okay? You also need to know how to read music in open position. So that means if I pull down some sheet music from my Hal Leonard book or whatever, you should be able to play it in open position. And if you need to know more about that, I recommend a sight reading book by Berkeley Press. Okay, so you also need to know the major pentatonic in E and A position. Now we talked about the cage system. This is just the very beginnings of it. A and E position of the major pentatonic scale is pretty much the two common boxes you need to know. And then the same thing with the minor pentatonic scale, okay? Also, you need to know the major scale in A and E position. Major scale we kind of went through, but eventually we want to grow our capacity to know all the positions of the major scale, but I would start with the A and D position. They're pretty much the easiest. And then fundamental finger picking. So you guys should know the basic rudiments of Travis picking. Alright, so if you learned all those things, you're officially a beginner guitarist. Great job. Let's move on. We're going to the intermediate guitarist. If you want to become an intermediate guitar player, you need to know these concepts. 1. All movable bar chords and E and A roots, major, minor, major 7, minor 7, dominant 7. Gotta know those. And then you need to know the major, minor 7th, and diminished 7 triads on every grouping of 3 strings, okay? So you should be able to go through the groupings of 3 strings, you know, E, A, D, and then A, D, G, you get it, and then go through all of those triad shapes with those 3 strings. And then you need to know all the scale positions of the major scale, not just A and E. You know C, A, E, G, and D. And then also all scale positions of the minor scale, encaged, and then all positions of the harmonic minor scale, encaged, and then all positions of the major pentatonic scale, encaged, and also the minor pentatonic scale. So a lot of scales you guys need to know to become an intermediate guitarist. You got this, just take it one bite at a time, okay? And then also, you need to memorize the scale of fourths, not required to become a beginner, but if you want to be intermediate, you need to know the scale of fourths. I have a video about that. It's the first video on my channel. You can find it right here. Alright, we also need to know how to sight read in positions 1 through 5. If you don't know how to sight read or where to start, you're going to want to start somewhere, so grab a Hal Leonard book and learn to sight read. And then, also learning how to pick alternately. Alternate picking, gotta be proficient in that. Okay? Those are the skills you need to become an intermediate guitar player. Alright? And now we're going deep in the weeds. Let's tell you how to become an advanced guitar player. First off, you need to know everything there is to know from those intermediate sides and the beginner sides, but in including these things, okay? So you need to have everything memorized regarding movable chords of all flavors and variations in every position. So in the C, A, G, E, and D system, you need to know minor, major, minor 7, major 6th, you know, dominant 7, 11, 13th, sharp 11, whatever. You know all of those jazz chords in the advanced fingering positions, okay? And then you need to know 3-note per string scales. 3-note per string scales are really, really fun, but they're a little more advanced. You'll know them when you get there. And then economy picking, not going to go through that, but it's a way of picking that takes a lot of extra motion out of your scales. And then modal harmony and modal scales in all positions. You need to know all the diatonic arpeggios in all positions. So you need to know your minor 7 arpeggios, dominant 7 arpeggios, major 7 arpeggios, diminished 7th arpeggios, the whole 9. You need to know those up and down the neck, every key, every position. And then you must be comfortable in every 2-5-1 progression in all keys. That includes improvising in that 2-5-1. This is very much jazz, but also very important for you guys to know, and being able to move around any progression, any 2-5-1 progression with your scales, arpeggios, and chord shapes. Super important as an advanced guitar player. And then you need to know upper level chord extensions. We talked about it. The 11, the 13, the minor 2nd, the major 6th. It goes on, etc. Grab a book and learn those. And then, of course, you need to know the exotic scales in all positions. For most advanced guitar players, you're not going to need to know every exotic scale all the time, but it's good to have a good grasp on your exotic scales, okay? Alright, so this list is not exhaustive. There's a lot to learn, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. But if you're here on my channel, you're probably a beginning to intermediate guitarist. You're going to want to start there, okay? So I hope this challenges you to grow in your guitar knowledge. When I was growing up and playing guitar, I learned from some really great teachers, but I always really want to know where I was skill-wise, conceptually. Was I grasping everything that I could learn guitar-wise? And this list is not exhaustive, but it's a really, really great start. And so I'd recommend that if you're playing guitar, you're not sure where to go, find where you are on the scale map. Are you a beginner? Are you an intermediate? Maybe you have some intermediate stuff off the list. Maybe you have some beginner stuff, but not everything. Go back and learn those things and get yourself situated in a place where you can learn and grow and really enjoy your development. And it's always nice to have check-off lists. Learning these skills are really important to becoming a good guitar player. And I would highly recommend going through this list yourself, finding where you're at, and definitely involving yourself in a rigorous practice schedule. Okay? So with that, that's IkeGuitar. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to comment, be sure to subscribe, and tell me some things that might need to be added to this list. It's not exhaustive, I know that, so be sure to let me know in the comments below what you think should be added, what you think should maybe be moved. You never know. And then also be sure to hit me up on Instagram at IkeGuitar. I have a lot of great stuff going on over there. You can find out more about me, what I do, and also get some ramblings from me from all things I do all around town. You're not going to want to miss that. And of course, enjoy your time playing your guitar. Don't be discouraged. Get out there, find out what you need to work on this list, and go and do it. Don't suck. We'll see you guys next time.